Welcome guys, let's start with the USD Canadian dollar as we do always. We got a really nice pullback from here, and finally we got the confirmation for this divergence, what I was looking for the last 2 weeks, and a beautiful engulfing candle. Our target point didn't reach, but you see closing candle is actually closed on the same spot and reversed from the same spot. So this was a very beautiful, and the divergence is forming. So I would expect a continuation from the Canadian dollar for next week, and this should turn into red, and this into red as well. Okay, that's what I'm looking for on the daily basis. There was also a small divergence inside this movement, and there were early signs for this actually. As you saw, I had a very beautiful trade on the gold. Okay, that was my main point. Let's see the ODNZD. The ODNZD, we got here sell signal, and the price went up until our zone and made a fake out, and then we could see also reverse from that actually. So we are staying in this zone. I would like to see the price come to this point. The VVV turned red, this the REMA heading to the downside, and we have already the sell signal. What could be a possible scenario is a turn up, but right now I wouldn't go against the momentum. Okay, so not planning that much. On the weekly basis, everything is still in green, and that's why I'm saying that the daily can go one more time up, but we're gonna have interest rate decision for the Australian dollar, so I'm looking for possible scenarios. Euro CHF. The Euro CHF played out very well. With this small divergence, we could see a very beautiful move to the upside, and I drew this so 2-3 weeks ago, so worked it out perfectly. On a weekly basis, the divergence is just confirmed, so I would like to see a next strength from the Euro CHF for next week. I think this is something pretty clear here as well. Structural divergence here as well. Little divergence, and here the divergence is confirmed, so I would like to see further move from the euro. And then we heading to the Euro GBP, and the Euro GBP, we had also a target zone which is not reached and turned down, which is very interesting because mostly the CHF is dominating, and as you could see, the Euro CHF made a beautiful move to the upside, and we saw something different from the GBP. And right now, what we can see is actually the price and the momentum is heading to the downside, still above the zero line, so the bulls are still in control, but the momentum is bearish right now. So follow the momentum, and when you see the reverse signs, go for it, because I think those target zones still can be valid. But I gonna look, you know what? I'm gonna show you something which I saw, and that's the AZ and the yearly basis AZ on weekly. I think that's also pretty interesting when you see this perspective of the market. As you see, on weekly basis, we are under the yearly opening very, very much. And this gives also another perspective, in my opinion. But let's see for the rest of the regional pairs what we can see. The USD CAD is in positive, but heading towards the opening price. So it's also very interesting, in my opinion. And as divergence close to the opening price, this could go even to this point actually. Then the Audi NZD, also very interesting. This is bullish, but as you see, we are dancing on the opening price. Nothing really happens. And the Euro CHF, is still bearish. Almost reached this point. Was a couple of pips actually from the bottom of the red green zone. So yeah, it's also a very interesting point. Let's see where the price is gonna end up by the end of this year. We're gonna come back to this point. And then the Euro GBP, which I already showed you. I think that's very interesting. Okay, let's see the DXY. As you saw, this is still bullish. But on weekly perspective, we finally got the sell signal right there, and the VVV turned into red, and the REMA is heading toward the cross. So what I'm looking for is actually this scenario. The price goes down, but because of this divergence here, I would like to see a continuation. So something like this. The price is heading towards here and stops here. This will be the perfect scenario in my opinion. Okay. So I'm gonna mark this up. This could be the perfect scenario. If this makes here divergence for continuation and after that a pullback to the upside, I think that will be the perfect point. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Then we have the CXY, and the CXY is almost the same as the USD CAD. Here is also the divergence formed finally, and there is a low volume level, and the RMI is heading to the cross as well. And as you know, when the DXY get weaker, we see the rest strengthening, and that's exactly what we see here. Okay, on daily basis, everything turned into green, and I will follow this momentum right there. Okay, but as you see, the CXY is still the weakest pair because every index closed stronger than the CXY, so CXY is still the weakest pair. So if you trading against the DXY, I would not recommend to trade with the CXY because that's one of the weakest pairs actually. So it's not a good combination to trade. Even when one is weaker, two weakest pairs against each other is not so good. Okay, but finally this divergence is formed and the daily is a clear picture. The AXY, almost the same scenario as the DXY, but I drawed here a trend line, and I don't think this is gonna hold the price. So what I would like to see is more likely this actually. This is the previous high, and the price goes up even to this point, and until it stays below the previous high, we're gonna have a divergence, and that's also a continuation to the downside. Okay. Oops, I missed the daily actually. The daily is heading to the upside. Here was a small divergence to REMA already in green, and we're crossing the zero line. So yeah, let's see that reversal from the AXY. And the AXY, the AXY made a move to the downside, which made a small divergence right there. And here are my target zones. Okay. On weekly basis, we are under. This turned into green and this heading to the upside. So the target point is small. I would like to see even this point, which should mean also an divergence possibility, because as you see, this is a very low point and we got already the buy signal, but the price didn't move yet. So yeah, I definitely want to see some pullbacks in the market. Then we have the BXY, and the BXY have a different scenario, and unfortunately we didn't reach this point. So I'm gonna remove this one and this one. I already pointed here in the market a possible scenario here as well. I would like to see something similar what we could see, but here is different side, because the trend line is have different angle, as you see. So this could mean that the price gonna go back to the trend line. I think that could be a perfect scenario. Here is a previous high. Let's see where the price is heading. Okay, very low volume and the price didn't cross yet, but I think it's something what should definitely happen. On daily basis, there was a small divergence forming right there. It's formed on Monday, and after that we could see the pull to the upside, and it's crossing the zero line a bit with this. Okay, so that's what I want to see. The SXY made a perfect down movement and retested on the target level, which is very interesting. And here we could see almost the same scenario what we could see on the BXY. Here we have a trend line, and this could form also a divergence to the downside. Okay, this is what I would like to see mostly. This is my opinion. Okay, but as you see, there is very low volume, but the REMA didn't cross yet, which is not a beautiful sign, but it's still above the zero line. And here we bouncing. Okay, we got a buy signal. And this is also above the zero line, so I would like to see something to the upside. And then the AXY is also finally formed the divergence what we were looking for, and the target was reached. Now I'm looking for the previous highs, but here is a different scenario because we don't see that clear high what we could see on the rest of the indexes. Here is a different scenario, and it should be a convergence in the market, but everything turned already green, so I would follow the momentum in this case. So let's go bulls, and this is also crossed the zero line, so that's what I want to see. Then we have the ZXY worked it out as well, a bit sooner than I thought. Already draw here a possibility for divergence, and we have already possible target zones, and everything turned into green, and the divergence is validated. So let's go bulls. Okay, almost reached the previous high, which could mean depends on how the market opens, and the interest rate, I think, gonna have a role in this case as well. Yeah, that's what I like to see first to break, and after that we can heading to the next target level. Then we have the gold, and here I'm gonna delete everything from gold. I did it yesterday, so I don't understand. But anyways, this goes up, this goes down. Here was a possibility for divergence, but here, as you see, there is a continuation already formed, or no, it's not formed because we do not have the buy signal right there. But as you see, we are above the zero line. This is crossing the zero line. The volume have still some space between the slower and the faster moving average. So that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, my entry was here, I guess, at this point. So yeah, that's also a good one. I would like to see, first of all, a continuation, which could lead us to another divergence, actually. But let's see what the price does. So, in this case, I would definitely expect some bullish scenario from the gold, as you see the DXY weakening, and watch out for the possibility for the divergence. Okay, in weekly charts, this is moving to the upside, so that's what I would like to see. And also an interesting point is the yearly on the AZ. As you see, here was the start of the year, went back to the yearly opening and went back to the yearly opening. So this is a pretty interesting point, in my opinion. Okay. Yep, let's see. On Monday, we're gonna have some euro high impact news. This could bring some liquidity in the market, and the PME from the Canadian dollar, which should have an impact on the market. Then interest rate decision from the Australian dollar, as I said, but here they're expecting a raise, and I don't think it will happen. Okay, I don't think it will happen, but early in the morning, I'm probably gonna wake up and see what the price is about to do. If this remains the same, it will mean that we could see a weakening from the Australian dollar. Okay, but if they raise, of course, then yeah, or even if they're raising the interest rates and it's coming into 4.35, it could have also negative impact on the Australian dollar. So only if it turns positive out, so they increasing the interest rate by, let's say, 0.4%, it will be bullish for the Australian dollar, which I don't think it will happen, but you never know. Always looking for that momentum to form before those news. Okay. The unemployment rate continues for the CHF. I think it's pretty good one to trade on. And after that, a calm afternoon. Some speeches, but I think really big in my opinion. Then we're gonna have the Euro CPY. This could bring some liquidity as well. And after that, the Powell speech. This is gonna be more interesting in my opinion. And then Thursday, also jobless claims and one more Fed speech. This could bring also some liquidity in the market. and Friday GDP for the GBP, and we're gonna close with Michigan. So in this case, we don't have that much high impact news, so everything gonna depend on the momentum, which is a very good thing in my opinion. So look for those momentums and have a great week, guys. It was a quick lookout. I wish you good evening, and I see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.